What's going on, guys? My name's Theoatrix and welcome to my complete level 1 to 99 smithing guide. To skip to any section of this guide, there are timestamps in the description below. Smithing involves creating weaponry, armor, ammunition, and some utility items. The bare basics of smithing involve creating a metal bar at a furnace, then using a hammer at an anvil to turn the bars into items. In 2005, the blast furnace was added to RuneScape, which brought the fastest smithing training methods. Making gold bars here is considered to be one of the most efficient smithing methods in the game. It's possible to hire runners at the blast furnace to reach XP rates of over 500k XP per hour. Aside from gold, the blast furnace can be a highly profitable training method, where with just steel bars you can make 800k GP per hour. The highest profit rate comes from rune bars, netting around 1.6 mil profit per hour. In 2022, Jagex introduced the Giant's Foundry to Old School, a smithing activity that provides competitive XP rates and big benefits for Ironman. The activity involves smithing metals into large swords. It provides slower XP rates than gold at the blast furnace, but it can be less expensive to train at the Giant's Foundry. There's a mechanic where you can recycle weapons and armor to be converted into metal, which is excellent for Ironman. There's a lot of places to train your smithing, but my favorite place is in the Tales of the Smith event in Watcher of Realms. Watcher of Realms is a next-gen fantasy RPG where you can immerse yourself in a world of over 200 heroes with unique characteristics and backstories. The game boasts top-quality RPG elements with a large world, a rich storyline, and incredible visuals. It's very user-friendly, with convenient features like auto-fighting, easy for new players to give it a go. You can challenge powerful bosses in PvE combat or join a guild and fight in intense guild vs guild battles to defend your stronghold. This month, there's a new samurai-themed event known as the Way of the Samurai, and with that, there's a new limited-time hero, Kigiri. He has incredible power, and his ultimate ability blocks incoming damage while instantly complementing his counter-attack. Kigiri also arrives with a brand new skin, the Shorn Spirit, which you can earn by experiencing the Black Blade Chronicles to earn Kigiri's exclusive artifact, a unique avatar border, and tons of other rewards. Alongside Kigiri, we welcome Zaris, an explosive AoE burst mage ready to obliterate enemies. If you log in every day to Watcher of Realms, you earn even more valuable prizes. Participate in events to unlock a new hero, cool emotes, and valuable summoning crystals. If you haven't tried Watcher of Realms, now is your chance. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code to download Watcher of Realms for free on PC, Android, or iOS. Thanks to Watcher of Realms for sponsoring this video. Next, I'm going to go through the low-level smithing training methods. One of the best things to do as a low-level smither is to complete quests, and on a brand new account, you can complete the Knight's Sword quest, which boosts you from level 1 to 29 smithing. The quest is pretty fast for all types of accounts, including Ironman. You do need an iron bar to complete it, so Ironmen can use the iron bar spawn in the wilderness, and many hardcore Ironmen choose to do this immediately after creating their account. Even if you aren't into questing, I would strongly recommend at least doing the Knight's Sword to save time with smithing. The quest takes 10 minutes, granting 12,000 smithing XP, making it the best way to train your smithing from a low level by far. For people with semi-progressed accounts, you can also complete the Sleeping Giants quest, Elemental Workshop 1 and 2, the Giant Dwarf, Heroes quest, and the Freeing Pirate Pete subquest to go from level 1 to 39 smithing. Some of those quests have fairly high requirements, so now the highlighted quests have fairly low requirements. If you're not into questing, I'm going to show you how to go from level 1 to 40 by training normally. You'll need 572 bronze bars, 1070 iron bars, and 102 steel bars, which will cost around 300k. It's recommended to smith items requiring the most bars per item. So an example pathway would be daggers, scimitars, warhammers, then Platebodies. You should smith bronze Platebodies through to level 24, where you unlock iron warhammers, because bronze plates are faster than the 1 and 2 bar iron items. Then you do iron plates until 39, and to finish off the last level, you smith 34 steel warhammers. If money is an issue, you can smith dart tips to earn some money back, but that does require the Tourist Trap quest. The best place to train at a low level is at the Varrock Anvil, and the process involves starting with withdrawing a full inventory of bars, and with a hammer in your inventory, you click on the anvil to bring up the smithing interface. Then you can select what you want to make, then you bank and repeat, and on your next runs, you can just press the spacebar to smith the last created item. In this next section, I'll show 4 different methods: Blast Furnace Gold, Platebodies, the Giant's Foundry, and Singing Crystal Armour. Once you reach level 40 smithing, you unlock the fastest viable training method in the game, gold bars at the blast furnace. This method gives up to 380k XP per hour from when you unlock it, making it the fastest viable method from 40 all the way to 99. With 3 runners at the blast furnace, you can get over 600k smithing XP per hour. However, that method is fairly new, so it's not easy to find runners. To make gold at the blast furnace, there are some requirements. Having goldsmith gauntlets is a must, where wearing them gives 2.5 times the amount of experience when smithing gold. Ice gloves are also extremely helpful with this method, and they're obtained from killing the Ice Queen. Alternatively, you can use a bucket of water on each run, but it is slower. You'll also need stamina potions to do this method effectively. And lastly, you'll need gold ores and coins to pay the blast furnace workers. I'll briefly go over each component of the blast furnace. There's the bank on the southern wall, and towards the north, there's the conveyor belt where you deposit your ores. Then in between is the bar dispenser, and this is where you retrieve your created bars. Before starting this method, I highly recommend using the Blast Furnace RuneLite plugin, since it tells you which stage you're at. So your first step is to fill the coffer with coins, and every 10 minutes, 2.5k coins are withdrawn from the coffer if you're under 60 smithing. For all players on the official Blast Furnace worlds, there's an extra fee to train, totaling 72k per hour. Then have your goldsmith gauntlets equipped and the ice gloves in your inventory, then you withdraw an inventory of gold ores and you run to the nearby conveyor belt. Click on the belt to deposit your ores, then run down to the bar dispenser and stand on the southern side. You need to be wearing the goldsmith gauntlets up until you get the XP drop, otherwise you get considerably less XP. So once the XP drop comes, you swap to the ice gloves, then you click on the bar dispenser to withdraw the full inventory of bars. If you don't have ice gloves, you use your bucket of water on the dispenser, then click to retrieve the bars. Then you run back to the bank, and as you're going to the bank, you can re-equip your goldsmith gauntlets, then bank the bars, withdraw more ores, and repeat. My preferred smithing training method is making plate bodies at an anvil. Plate bodies are slower than gold at the blast furnace, but are more relaxed, requiring less focus and less clicking. Your journey to 99 with plate bodies can start as low as level 18 with bronze plate bodies, and with those you'll already get over 50k smithing XP per hour. It scales up to 240k per hour with adamant plate bodies. And since rune plate bodies are unlocked at level 99, adamant plate bodies will be your main training method to 99. They're currently profitable, making them an excellent way to train to 99 smithing. The Privdinus anvil is the best place to smith, since it's the closest anvil to a bank, only 8 tiles from the banker. A close second is the Varrock anvil, which is 10 tiles from the bank, and this anvil is accessible by anyone. So the process involves firstly withdrawing a full inventory of bars with a hammer in your inventory or with the Imkando hammer equipped. Then you click on the anvil and select to create plate bodies. Your character processes 5 plate bodies per full inventory. Then you click on the bank and repeat. On your second inventory, you can just press spacebar to smith the last created item, which would be a plate body. When returning to the bank, if you interact with the banker directly, instead of clicking on the bank booth, you access the bank 1 tile earlier. This only slightly speeds up your XP rates, but if you're doing this to 99, those little increments do add up. While plate bodies are the fastest XP at an anvil, you can also smith 3-bar items for high XP rates, but even longer AFK times. And in some cases, you'll spend less money making 3-bar items over plate bodies. Here are some example 3-bar items you could create along with their XP rate. For example, adamant warhammers give up to 180k XP per hour, with AFK intervals lasting 27 seconds, whereas the AFK interval with plate bodies is only 15 seconds. The Giant's Foundry is another viable way to train your smithing, where you smelt sword commissions for rewards, and it's located east of Al-Kharid. You can get there with a ring of dueling, a glory, or a minigame teleport goes straight there. To start, however, you will need to have completed the Sleeping Giant's quest. You need 15 smithing to partake, and you'll also need bars or metal items. For the Giant's Foundry, it's strongly recommended to also have ice gloves. Doing sword commissions here, you can expect over 90k XP per hour with bronze and iron alloys, scaling up to over 250k XP per hour with adamant rune alloys at 85 smithing. However, Mithril adamant alloys are the most cost-effective method. The higher level metals will give greater experience and minigame points. This is a rundown of each component within the Giant's Foundry. As you enter, you'll find Kovac the Giant, who is the giant that you get the sword commissions from. Just beyond him, you can find the mold setup and the crucible over the lava. Just up the stairs, further on, there is a bank chest. The preformed storage is a way to save your progress. There is also the hammer, grindstone, polisher, lava, and waterfall objects. So to get started, you get a sword commission from Kovac, and with the sword, you have to balance the length, weight, and sharpness of the blade. At the mold setup, you choose a forte, blade, and tip, aiming for the highest number bonus. Those with a green line are the best. As you unlock more molds, these scores will improve. Purchasing molds permanently adds them to your library, and they're a necessity for the Giant's Foundry. It can seem tough at first, but once you unlock more molds, it gets a lot better. So next, you deposit 2 different types of metal items, bars or armor, into the crucible over the lava. The crucible can hold a total of 28 metal bars. Metal armor and weapon inputs are calculated as the smithing bar cost minus 1. You should be careful not to go over the 28 total. You do get a warning, and if you choose to proceed, you will lose your bars. Also, be careful not to empty the crucible when right-click checking. Alloys are always better to use since they give greater rewards, and alloys just means two different types of metals at once. You'll see a bar at the top of your screen, and depending what color the bottom bar action is, you'll need to either heat or cool your preform. Dunking the preform in the lava and cancelling just before the right temperature level is a great way to save time. To do the opposite and cool it, place the preform into the waterfall. Then work the activity required, either the trip hammer, which cools, the polishing wheel, which slowly cools, or the grindstone, which slowly heats the sword. If your bar at the top is outlined in yellow, you can click on the tool you're using to get a boost. Try not to work the blade unless it's in that specific temperature range. The top bar is the quality bar, and it will affect your rewards at the end. So this should never go down if you can manage it. When your blade is complete, talk to Kovac to receive your rewards. You get rewarded with GP from each sword completed as well as experience. Next, for the absolute fastest smithing experience in the game, singing crystal armor, which is only possible if you have lots of money. The method involves turning crystal armor seeds into crystal armor, then dismantling them and repeating the process. For every crystal armor seed you use, you get 2.5k smithing XP, and you can process a whole inventory at once, giving a 67k smithing XP drop. With that, you can get over 5 million smithing XP per hour, and at the same time, you'll get 5 million crafting XP. But this is extremely expensive, where it's going to cost over 50 bill to go from when you unlock this method to 99. Next, I'm going to show the AFK smithing training methods, and I'll be showing dart tips, gold bars at a regular furnace, and cannonballs. Dart tips are possibly the best AFK smithing method, mostly because they give fairly decent XP rates while giving a profit. All of the dart tips up to Mithril are profitable to make, then the ones above that you'll lose a bit of money. The XP rates range from 16k per hour with bronze up to 97k per hour with Rune. So it's nowhere near as fast as the fastest methods I've shown, but each inventory of dart tips gives an AFK interval of 81 seconds. A tip for smithing dart tips: since they're stackable, you can have noted bars in your inventory, and when you're going to bank, you just use the noted bars on the banker and hold 1 to unnote them. This is faster than banking normally, with the downside of 1 less inventory space. Another great AFK smithing method is making gold bars at a regular furnace. With goldsmith gauntlets equipped, each gold bar gives 56 XP instead of 22. Doing this, you can AFK for 81 seconds per inventory, which is a while, and you can expect a max XP rate of only 63k per hour. Doing this method from when you unlock it all the way to 99 is going to cost only 15 mil, but it's going to take around 200 hours. Cannonballs are the most AFK smithing method in the game, where each inventory takes 2 minutes and 30 seconds to complete. But despite being the most AFK, it's very slow XP, earning around 15k XP per hour. In 2022, Jagex introduced the double cannonball mold, which made this method a lot better than it was, but it's still pretty slow. Using the double cannonball mold also halves the AFK time per inventory, from 2 minutes 30 down to 1 minute 15. Smithing cannonballs requires steel bars and a mold in your inventory. Now let's talk about the profitable smithing methods. The blast furnace can be highly profitable, and in this section I'll show every profitable method there is there. Steel, mithril, adamant, and rune bars are all profitable to smelt in the blast furnace. For all of these methods, it helps immensely if you have a coal bag, which is obtained from the Motherlode mine for 100 golden nuggets. Without the coal bag, your profit rate gets pretty much halved. Alright, now I'm going to go through each type of metal to show you exactly how to make them. Note that it does vary from metal to metal due to the differences in the quantity of ores needed. The first profitable blast furnace method is steel bars, where you can get over 90k XP per hour while profiting 800k with a coal bag. However, you do need 2 million coins to buy the supplies to be able to smith for 1 hour. Take note that if you put iron ore into the blast furnace, it will turn into iron bars if you don't add coal. So if it's your first time here, you should add an inventory of coal first. So for steel, you start by filling your coal bag at the bank, then fill your inventory with iron ore. Then you run to the belt and deposit the iron, then empty the coal bag into the conveyor belt. Then you go to the dispenser and grab the bars with your ice gloves equipped, then you bank and repeat. Next is mithril bars at the blast furnace, and these give around 105k XP per hour while profiting 800k per hour. This time you'll need 1.8 mil to buy all of the ores for 1 hour of smithing. The process is a little different for this one because you need 2 coal for every mithril ore. So you start by filling your coal bag at the bank and withdrawing a full inventory of mithril. Then you place all of that on the belt and run back to the bank to withdraw more coal, filling your coal bag and inventory. Then you place those on the belt, then you grab the mithril bars from the dispenser, then bank them and fill your coal bag and withdraw another inventory of mithril. Then you place them on the belt and withdraw the bars and then repeat from the beginning. Now for adamant bars, and you can expect 100k XP per hour, which is slower than mithril only because you require more coal, but the profitability of adamant is quite a bit higher, at 1.4 mil GP per hour. Since you require 3 coal per adamant ore, you start by filling your coal bag and withdrawing an inventory of coal. Then you place it on the belt and run back to the bank to fill your coal bag again. Then withdraw an inventory of adamant. You then run to the belt, then collect your bars and repeat. Rune bars are the most profitable, requiring 85 smithing, and it gives XP rates of over 100k per hour. You can make 1.6 mil GP per hour doing this method, and it's one of the best smithing moneymakers in the game. But you need 25 mil to be able to do this method for 1 hour. You start by placing coal from your coal bag plus your inventory onto the conveyor belt. Then you go to the bank and do one more trip of coal only, using your coal bag again. On the next trip, you bring rune ore and a full coal bag to the belt. Then you grab the rune bars from the dispenser, then you go back to the bank and repeat. Making cannonballs has been a smithing moneymaker since they were released in 2003, but fairly recently, the double ammo mold doubles the amount of cannonballs you can make. Using the regular cannonball mold, you average about 200k in profit per hour. Then with the double mold, it's 400k. To get the double ammo mold, you have to earn it from the Giant's Foundry. Cannonballs are made at any furnace, and the Edgeville furnace is the closest to a bank and has no requirements. With the double cannonball mold, if you go from 35 to 99 smithing, you'll profit 170 mil, but it's going to take over 400 hours. Without the double mold, you'll still profit 170 mil, but it's going to take over 800 hours. Overall, I don't recommend making cannonballs, but if you have 5 accounts going or making cannonballs, I could see it being worthwhile. At level 98 smithing, you can boost with a Dwarven Stout to make level 99 rune items. Most 3-bar rune items are profitable to smith, like the Rune 2H, plate legs, and plate skirts. There's some discords and friends chats out there where people buy these items in bulk to ALK and to avoid the GE tax. One of those clans is the W308 Anvil clan chat. Since these methods require 99 smithing, this method is more for those going for 200 million XP. If you went from 99 to 200 million smithing XP, making Rune 2H swords, you would profit 565 mil. At a lower level, Ironmen should always aim to complete the Knight's Sword quest to bypass the slow early levels. The majority of your time is spent obtaining ores, bars, and metals to use with smithing. The Motherlode mine is a great place to get ores, where you'll usually get around 500 ores per hour, and it's decently AFK. Regular mining can be another source of ores. However, waiting until you're further into the game can be beneficial when you have more money and more money makers. This is because you can buy ores from the Blast Furnace shop to get the most ores per hour as an Ironman. The introduction of the Giant's Foundry was an excellent addition for Ironman, where it provides decent smithing XP rates, and Ironman can use leftover bars and metal items from PVM drops. You can buy ores from the Blast Furnace, turn them into bars at the Blast Furnace, then use those bars at the Giant's Foundry or to smith Platebodies. High-level Ironmen will also get a significant chunk of smithing XP from creating items like dart tips for raids and bossing. Now moving into the final section of the guide, free-to-play smithing. Free-to-play players have access to the Knight's Sword quest, which is by far the fastest way to train. The fastest smithing method in free-to-play is smithing Platebodies. Making the best plate body you can all the way to 99, you'll actually break even, since Adamant Platebodies are currently profitable to make. Going from 1 to 99 is only going to take 70 hours in free-to-play with Platebodies. For more tips on Platebody smithing, you can skip back to the Platebody section of this video. There's a timestamp in the description below. A free-to-play smithing method that was introduced in 2021 is Baronite. This requires full completion of the Below Ice Mountain quest, and basically, while mining Baronite rocks, you occasionally get Baronite deposits. You can then take those deposits to the nearby Anvil to get 30 smithing XP per piece. This method is mostly good for free-to-play Ironmen, since the Baronite deposits are untradeable. Anyways, that's my complete level 1 to 99 smithing guide. If you missed anything, timestamps to every section is in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more old school content. Be sure to check out Watcher of Realms. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code to download it to your device today. Thanks for watching.